All right, let's move away from Uganda and come back here to Nigeria. Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo will lead a delegation to represent Nigeria at a number of events during the state funeral for the late Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom today. The Vice President will join members of the royal family, world leaders, including members of the Commonwealth, heads of state, governors general, prime ministers, and foreign royal families at the ceremonies, including the funeral service scheduled to hold at Westminster Abbey today.
The Vice President will also hold a bilateral meeting with the UK Foreign Secretary, James Cleverly. Now recall that the Queen Elizabeth II was the head of Commonwealth and the longest-serving British monarch who passed on at 96 on the 8th of September 2022 at the Balmoral Castle in Scotland. This is a conversation that the world has been talking about, and of course, there's been different reactions. We did mention this at the start of the show, while some greatly supported her exit. Of course, greatly celebrated her life and the impact. There's also been lots of criticism following her passing. I saw a clip by Trevor Noah. I don't know if you saw it on his show. And he was analyzing what's happening in a very brilliant way. Of course, talked about the fact that, talked about the Queen and how he has so much respect for the Queen and how she's lived such a beautiful life and how a lot of us grew up all our lives knowing a Queen and how it was really difficult for lots of people this time to mourn. But he finds it really ludicrous that some people would assume that the fact that you have a great experience with UK and the monarchy and the British, some other persons who do not have such experience shouldn't be allowed to express themselves. Yeah. You know, it was just very interesting to see how he put it.
Absolutely, and you know, of course, it takes us back to the drama that ensued on the day that she passed. You know, and even till date, the Irish are still, you can still see videos on Twitter and online, you know, where the Irish are celebrating her death, you know, and making very, very, well, shocking, you know, statements with regards Queen Elizabeth. You know, but you know, all of this is expected. You know, you don't expect things like this to happen, and you know, everyone would be, you know, one-sided with their views. Even when Nelson Mandela passed, I'm sure there were still people who, you know, spoke ill of him. When Pope John Paul II passed, it was pretty much the same thing. And so it is expected. It's just interesting to see, you know, the British culture. And like you said, you know, if you're not older than 70, then this is the only Queen of England that you've known all your life. Only people who are, you know, 75, 80 and you know, and above, you know, would say, okay, they probably saw, you know, her father, you know, but nobody else, you know, and we're also going to be, you know, among those who would experience a King of England after the first time. Well, not for the first time, after Queen Elizabeth, you know, so it's pretty interesting to see. You know, I also enjoyed the little angles here and there. There's a part of the procession I saw on Thursday, I think on Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday last week, where they were walking with the coffin, you know, and you could see that everyone, it's probably about 100 people walking, including, you know, Prince Charles and, you know, William and Harry and everybody. But you could see everyone was their footsteps were exactly the same. This is more than 100 people. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, all the way till they got to wherever they were headed. It was so interesting to see. I also got to see the conversations concerning Harry and William and Harry. You know, there's the part where he wasn't dressed; he was wearing a suit. I don't think their wives were there. He was wearing a suit, you know, while William was wearing the military, you know, regalia and all of that. And then there were, you know, questions being asked, you know, why Harry wasn't dressed in the same military regalia. And then Harry showed up, you know, the next day with.
Wait. So, does it? Do you see the contrast between that and Obito?
yes, clear contrast. But it's interesting to see, and we're one of, you know, a generation that got to witness this and witness also, you know, Queen Elizabeth, you know, and I also understand those who are completely upset with the British monarchy and the British government and all the damage that they've done. I understand.
Absolutely.